Hi, and welcome to another installment of Living on the Farm. Today we thought we would show you one of the other enterprises that we have here on the farm. So if you like this video, remember to be sure and subscribe and hit that like button so that you can catch all of the notifications each time a new video comes out. What I'd like to do today is show you one of the ways in which we have diversified the operation over the last few years. I'm standing here in our hoop barn that we built about soon to be 2 years ago. And what this is, it is a barn that is specially designed for cattle. You can see that it's a steel framework building with a large covering over top of it. So in one sense of the word, I guess this is kind of a gigantic tent. We opted to go with the company called Hoop Beef Systems that design these for cattle. They are specifically designed for cattle. That's the only thing that they make a building for. It has some features in it that are kind of unique to this individual building. You'll see it's got a hole in the roof, and that is for the fact that as cattle are grouped together, and just like people, as they get bigger and the heat goes up, it gets warmer in their surroundings. So this is designed with that so that ventilation, as the air comes in the building here, it goes out through that. It works the same way as basically a draw system for your chimney does in your fireplace or in your wood stove. What we do in this barn is that we finish cattle on a custom basis, and what that means is I don't own these cattle. These belong to a client, and they have these calves, and they're born on their farm. They grow them up on the cow and wean them off, and when they get ready to be put in a situation for what we call hard feed to be finished for slaughter, they bring them to me. And what I do is I group them up, and then I work them up on a ration so that they can gain the most that they are able to for the efficiency factor of that. We try to get the cattle to gain between 3 and 4 pounds a day, and we feed them at that rate until they get to the point where they're ready for harvest. We have 80 head of heifers in here currently that are probably 3 weeks away from harvest time on some of these cattle. The cattle have done really well. We've had no issue with the cattle at this current time. They're eating all the hay they want to eat out of the bale ring that's provided for each pen of cattle. And we're here this afternoon to give them their second round of feed for the day. I split the feed up so that they get feed twice a day, so that they all get a chance to eat as much as they want when they want. And these cattle here are currently eating at the rate of about 24 pounds per head per day. It's a high corn ration, and the reason we use a lot of corn is because that's what puts that nice white marbling and fat on the beef, so that when it is harvested and then put into the marketplace for people to buy, we want them to get a quality product, and that's what this corn ration will allow us to do. I want to take just a moment and talk some more about the barn itself. I did a lot of research and a lot of homework on these barns before I decided which one I was going to build, and I must say that I'm very happy that I went with the Hoop Beef System barn. It's probably not the cheapest out there, but I feel like it's been a great value. The way it is designed, I'm able to efficiently handle the cattle by myself. I don't need a second person here to move cattle or sort cattle. The alleyway system here, where you see these cattle standing, each gate is strategically located and placed exactly in a design that they have proven to be the most efficient. And I think that kind of sets them apart from some of the other manufacturers who just build you a building and then you have to put all the infrastructure in it. This particular building comes as a package, so the building, the feeding system, the handling system with the gates and stuff is all included in that. I did take some space here and put a facility in to process cattle because this barn is located out away from any other aspects of our operation. So if I have a sick calf or if I want to weigh cattle, I'm able to run them through this processing facility right here and either treat the animal or to weigh them and kind of see where we're at. This system that they've designed here allows me to do that quite easily, quite efficiently. I have to kind of give a shout out to the company because they told me this is what the barn should cost when it's completed. They were within just a very few dollars of that, so I knew exactly what it was going to cost before we got the project even started. We didn't have to worry about the cost overruns and going way over budget. These cattle in here, as you can see, are extremely happy. I mean, they're just kind of loafing around this afternoon. They're kind of all coming out into the alley now because they know that I'm here, so it's time for another round of feed. And they're just kind of like people at the buffet. When somebody rings the dinner bell, they're going to show up. So it was a bit of a different mindset for us to do something on a custom basis, to get paid by someone else to take care or to work with their livestock. We've never ventured into that aspect of it, but it was a way for us to be able to put this facility up and to also be able to not have to take quite as much risk by investing in the barn and then investing the money to fill it up with cattle. If I can continue to do it on a custom basis, it kind of limits my risk just a little bit. On the flip side of that, I find it harder to take care of someone else's cattle than it is to take care of my own, because if there is a problem, then I feel doubly responsible for the problem, because not only does it affect me and what goes on here, it also affects my client. It's quite a nice facility. It's just another way in which we can kind of reach out and expand and try some different things. This allows us to I'm able to put about 2 groups of cattle a year through this facility. So on a half an acre of land, we're finishing roughly 160 head of cattle a year, from 800 pounds to 1,300 pounds when they're ready for harvest. So I guess that's about enough talk. Got time to feed some cattle. Another feature that I really like is that there is a crank handle here to roll up and down about a 6-foot opening covered with this tarp when it's down. It goes the length of the building so that in the wintertime I can seal it up here to cut that cold north wind off of them, but in the summertime all I have to do is roll this up. And as you can see, makes a nice airflow system there and lets in a lot of natural light during the day. Now that these girls are all starting to get their bellies full again, and they are all girls, this is a barn full of heifers, I just want to spend just a couple minutes talking about my thoughts and my personal views on animal husbandry and the way that we care for our animals. This barn here was designed to hold 108 head of cattle. I never filled the barn over 80% capacity, and it's just a personal preference on my part. By running my barn that way, every animal here has a place back in their bedding area, back behind this working alley here where the concrete is. Every animal can lay down all at the same time. They have room to do that. They're lying down on a bed of wood chips. So they're bedded in there, and every week I put in new wood chips and clean their facility by doing that. It's kind of like changing the sheets on your bed at home. So we'll do a video about that too, cleaning the shed and stuff like that. But I just kind of wanted to take a little time here and show that just because animals are raised in confinement doesn't mean that they're abused or that it's inhumane. These girls here, they never get wet. They're protected from the rain, the snow in the winter. Also, they're in a constant state of shade during this hot weather, the humid weather we have in Missouri. They're always under roof in the shade. There's always a breeze blowing through there. They're well cared for. They have fresh water available within just a few steps in every pen. They get fed twice a day. So the life of an animal that is being used for meat production, I really can't see how it can get a whole lot better than this. So with that, we're going to bid you that you have a great day, and be sure and tune in on the next video, and as we like to say around here, it's all good.